Hi guys. I'm not usually used to being this side of the camera. Oh, it's terrible. As I'm not at home at the moment, I've got a couple of other people looking after the horses. It's nearly 2 o'clock in the morning. As I can't sleep, I've just been looking back through the videos that I've done on this page. There's some things that I haven't spoken about yet, which I thought I may as well do now rather than deal with when I'm back with the ponies, and I'll probably forget about it because I won't be back for another couple of weeks. And that's things like clippers. I did a video about training for clippers, and I could have expanded even more. When it comes to Charlie's clipper training, I will actually I'll make sure I'm videoing that, and if possible get somebody else to video it for me so you can see everything less close, so you can see everything that's going on rather than just a little bit. But one of the things when it comes to clippers is you may say, I'm never going to clip my horse. Well, okay, you might not for exercise, but what happens if your horse gets injured and the vet comes out and the vet needs to clip an area for some reason? Hairy Welsh ponies, for instance, I've got a lot of those, and in the winter, if the vet needs to put a needle into the vein in the neck, they will quite often in the winter clip some of the fur off. So I guess you've got the option of, you've got a horse that's stressed, and in order to sedate it, the vet really needs to clip the hair so they can get the vein first time and get it clean so you don't then get an infection in. Now, if you can't get clippers near your horse, and if it's in pain or it's stressing for some reason and it's upset, and then the vet goes to clip its hair for the first time, you're really not going to have a good time of it. And also, if they're cleaning up an injury, for instance on the leg, a lot of vets will shave the area in order to be able to see the wound properly and make sure it's definitely clean for you. And you might have to do this yourself sometime. And it's better, in my opinion, that you've got your horse ready and a bit more used to clippers before that has to happen. So your horse is less stressed, and therefore you're less stressed. Because if the vet comes up to you and says, oh, what's your horse like with clippers? And you say, oh, I don't know, I've never tried. And then the vet is well within their right, if your horse is playing up, to say, I want to put a twitch on this horse. Now, some people don't like twitches. I mean, the ones on the nose, I've seen the studies, it releases endorphins, which are happy chemicals into the brain. And it makes you happy. And with all due respect, a lot of things that make humans happy are because endorphins get released into the brains, and it makes you feel really, really good. And it just makes you, zonk out a bit. However, I know a lot of people who think that twitching on the nose is cruel. And I can understand that in a way, because I have seen some people do it with really, really thin rope or twine, and I have seen it break the skin on the horse. And also I've seen the handle at the end bash a horse in the gums and actually damage teeth and damage gums. But with all due respect, that's due to being misused. They're not the types that the vets use. These are homemade things that people just use out of whatever they can. I don't know why. I've got 2 that were made for me just out of the end of a broom handle, and I've never had a problem. But I know some people that have, and I have actually seen firsthand damaged gums from twitches. So you're then left with a situation of the vet can't sedate your horse because the vet can't find a vein. They can't find a vein because it's the middle of the winter and your horse has a seriously hairy neck. The vet wants to trim the horse's neck. It can't get the clippers anywhere near the horse. And, the horse is playing up, it's rearing, it's striking out. I've seen all of this. So, for the sake of a little bit of training, if you really, really don't want your horse twitched, if you are absolutely against releasing of happy endorphins because you're worried about problems, then fine, train your horses to accept clippers, because you've got to do it. Because your horse, you have to do what's best for your horse. And you have to look at it that if your horse is injured, you've got to help it. And if you can't help it because you can't clip a little bit of hair off, so the vet can't sedate it to make it feel better, or the vet can't give it, an antibiotic injection, which is very, very fast working because it goes straight into the bloodstream and lasts longer than a powder, and starts it working before the powders get into the system. If you can't do that with your horse, you have to ask yourself if you're doing the best for your horse. And you can argue all you like, it's the horse's fault, it's an idiot. Actually, it's your fault because you haven't taken the time to train it. Now, okay, you might not have clippers. I'm lucky. I have trimmers, which a friend gave me last year, earlier this year actually, and I'm immensely grateful for those. They're the trimmers that I used on the video. And aside from that, I have medium duty clippers, but I also bought earlier this year heavy duty clippers. Now, the heavy duty clippers, I've used them on Brian, and he's been clipped before using my medium duty clippers. But the heavy duty clippers, they're louder and they vibrate a lot more. And whilst he let me do it, he wasn't happy about it. He was shaking, he was nervous, so I had to stop. So yeah, it's kind of bad that I can't do the heavy duty clippers on him, but at the end of the day, I've got 2 other sets. I'm lucky. I have 2 more sets of clippers, so I can use the trimmers for a small area and do like a small area every day, or I can use the medium duty clippers. Now, if you've only got 1 set, you've got to get your horse used to it. If you haven't got any, it doesn't matter, because you can actually get various things to help. There are apps that you can get on your phone. You can actually just put in the app store horse clippers and things like that, or anything to do with the vibrating of the phone. There are lots of apps for various different uses, some a bit more dubious than clipping. But you can get these apps, and you can have the vibrating sound and the feel, so the horse at least gets used to that. And that will at least get you somewhere towards a vet being able to clip to see a vein, or clip due to injury. So I'd one had to be clipped about 6 months ago, and she had fallen in the field, got a thorn stuck in her knee, and it went to a massive abscess really, really quickly. But it was probably about February time, January, February, so therefore she was immensely hairy. So we had to clip the knee. Now I will absolutely accept I have not done anywhere near as much clipper training as I should. So I had to suck it up. That horse had to be twitched and then sedated by the vet. Whereas another one of mine, I'd say there's 3 or 4 of mine that would just stand in the field without head collar or lead rope, and they would let you just shave the knee. You don't even need to hold them. I'd rather have more that I can just stand in the field and do it. But this particular one who had to have a knee clipped, she didn't live with me for long. So I've got to get training her, actually. It needs doing now. She's 4. Oops. So yeah, that's my moan for the night about clipping and twitching and sedating. Do the best for your horse. Get it used to clippers, please. It will help you. You won't stress. The vet won't stress. The vet can get on with their job. If it's dark, they can't quite see a vein, they may have to clip even if the coat isn't thick. So, help your vet, help yourself, help your horse. Get them used to clippers or vibrating things. Whatever vibrating thing you have in your house, doesn't matter what it is, for the benefit of your horse, use it to get your horse used to the feel of vibrating things. And if you only want to concentrate where the vet's likely to do, then concentrate on the neck, by the veins, by the jugular. Because that, at least the vet would then be able to sedate your horse if it needs clipping somewhere else. If your horse is very sensitive about the leg, then it won't matter. As long as they get into the vein in the neck and they can sedate the horse, you're all good. That's it. Clipping rant over. Yeah, if I think of anything else, I'll do a video before I get home. Bye.